In this video, I will show you how to use my house flipping calculator so you know exactly how much money you'll make on any deal long before you decide to make an offer. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am your host, Leo Landaverde, outsourced CFO and commercial lender, helping you scale your business. If you're ready to grow your business to 7 figures and beyond while creating the financial freedom and the lifestyle you want, then subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time a new video comes out.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. So here is the house flipping calculator. I'm very excited to kind of walk you through this because this is sort of the nuts and bolts of how you make money. And understanding this piece, whether you are a new house flipper or an experienced one, you need to understand how all the different components work. So I try to keep it simple in this case. I've been using this tool for a while, for a few years with different investors and with different levels of experience. And my background is as an accountant, so I've been able to understand how that works and the cost of financing, etc. So he has three components. We'll go quickly through it. So it has a notes section. So several things you need to understand is the estimated holding cost on a property can vary anywhere from 4 months to a year. So you need to understand that whenever you start working on a house flip, the clock is ticking because there's a lot of variables that are tied to the estimated length of time that you keep this property before you flip it. So for this scenario, it's 4 months. On this section right here, we have a loan amortization schedule. The information that is fed here, the loan amount and the interest rate, it comes from the house flipping calculator itself. So you won't have to look at it. You just know that it'll be there doing the calculations behind the scenes. Okay, fair enough? All right, so this is the house flipping calculator. So the two most important things that you need to know are the areas in green. It's what is the maximum allowable offer that you can make, right? When you're purchasing the property, either from a wholesaler or from whomever, it doesn't really matter. This is the max amount that you can offer, also known as the acquisition cost. And this in green over here is the after repair value. So if you did your job right with calculating the ARV, which is another video that I got coming up next week, and it's gonna tie it all together. If you understand how to calculate your ARV property, your ARV will equal your sales price. The difference between the two, it's gonna give you all of these other sections. So you get the green areas are the two most important numbers. The areas in purple are your holding costs, and we'll get into those, what those are, and these are estimated particular to this example, and they may go up and down depending on what part of the country you're in. Those are your PG&E, your yard service, your pool service, your alarm, your holding property taxes, etc. The areas in salmon, those are the input areas. Keep in mind that this workbook is not locked. I have not locked it yet. I will do so by the time you download this, because I like to give it to you as a gift. So instructions on how to download it will be in this video, so stay tuned. So I would love to give it to you. That's my gift to you. The areas in blue are the percentages. Those are the metrics that you need to understand, and they will change as we go through the example. So keep a close eye on how this area, this profit as a percentage of the actual dollars and as a percentage of the ARV, all of these variables will change as we go into the example. So let's take it from the top. In this scenario, we're saying that we bought the property for $200,000 or 53% of our after repair value. So this is kind of deconstructing something I already happened and see how we did, right? In an ideal situation, all these moving parts long before you actually hammer the first nail on your fixer, on your house flip, but just, we'll go through it. So you bought it for $200,000 and you're getting a loan for 80%. Now it could be 90% loan, it could be 85, it could be 75, it doesn't matter. But what it does is that it takes your maximum allowable offer minus the money you're getting from the lender, and that's gonna give you your borrower, this is your money down. This is coming from you. This is coming from your own bank account. You're putting down, and it's all factored into the total cost. So then you got, in this particular scenario, you got 3 lender points, which is 3 percentage points. Those are the fees. The lender points are typically paid out of escrow. In 90% of the time, they're paid out of escrow. Your lender interest, now in this case, for this example, it's 10%. It could be 11%. It could be 12. It could be 13. It could be 9. If you're very experienced house, flipper that does 6 to 10 properties a year, you're gonna see this lender interest probably 7, 8, 9%. On average, it's about 10%. Your fix-up cost, this is a variable cost. It will change depending on the property, much like your maximum allowable offer is not a hardwired number. It'll change. It's as much as an art as it is a science. So I just used $75,000 here. And then your holding costs, you got 4 months of PG&E at $1,200, which is your electric, your water, and you got your water and power, right? And you got your yard services, your gardener at $120 a month, and you got your ongoing alarm. Again, these numbers can change and will change. Your insurance estimate at $1,200, your title and escrow is $2,000, and you got your realtor fees as a 5.5%. Now I am in the West Coast, and this is what I've seen, but it could be anywhere from 3 to 6%. Depending on where you are, and that's going to be the largest section of your closing costs, your realtor fees. And it is the seller, the one that is paying for it, but it's part of the closing costs. And this is your total. This is the sum of all of the numbers above. And what you get here in this particular case, we're making $62,000 or 16.69% of the sales price of the house. That's not bad. I mean, I usually seen anywhere from 14 to 20%. You probably don't want to you should aim for at least 15 cents for every dollar. So 15%, that should be your goal for net profit. And on any deal, your maximum allowable offer as a percentage of your ARV, in this case, is 53%. Obviously, I would say the lower the better. If you get that property for 40 cents on the dollar, do so. In this case, we got it for 53 cents. Now your fixed up cost as a percentage of ARV, your 75,000 into the ARV comes out to 20%. And they can vary. This is a variable cost. So if the number was different, if the number was higher, it's going to be a higher percentage, etc. Your holding costs in this deal are 0.6%. They can actually be higher. Again, all of these numbers will change, and I'll show you that. Your closing costs usually range between 9 and 10%. In this case, it's 9.35%. Now let's play around with the variables. Say you didn't. So what's the numbers change? Say you were not able to get the property at 200, you got it for 225. So all of a sudden, your property goes down to, your profit goes down to 36,000. Your profit dips below the 15%. Your allowable office as a percentage of ARV is 60%. Now, if you follow the rule, if you're looking to have a 70% ARV, once you're done with everything, then this is not good because it's going to squeeze profit out of you. Your fixed costs remain at 20% because the sales price is still the same. Let's say we did sell this property for $400,000. Now, guess what it does to the number? Now we're back up, and our profit is a $59,000. You're back at 15% net profit, and your allowable office MAO, your maximum offer, is now at 56%. So your fixed cost dropped to 18.75. You can see. So I'm not going to show you what happens if you, instead of 80%, it's 90%. So your cash out of pocket is $22,000. Of course, you're running your own business. You're not going to get 100% financing from any lender. There are some lenders, it's rare, it does happen, but that's not a rule of thumb. You should budget for at least 10 to 20% down. And the bigger the deal, the more down you're going to have to put down. So now the areas in Salman, as I said earlier, those are the areas you can change right now. So say, for instance, you were to be charged 4 points. You see how the closing costs, everything changes, your profit changes, because the more points, the less your profit. Say your lender interest rate were to drop down to 9%, right? And see how the numbers change. Now it's back up to 10%. So it went from 600 to 6,700. Now what happens if it is a 9%? What happens if it is a 8%? You see how that changes? It's playing with the variables, and you probably you have work where you work with different lenders. They all have something for everybody, and the pricing will change from one lender to the next. Even if you're dealing with private lenders, say the fixed up cost, you were able to get it down for $50,000. Look at what happens to our profit. Our profit is now up to $82,000, but say you were not able to sell the property, you sold it for $350,000, so below what you thought you were going to sell it. You see how those things, moving parts, work. In this particular, say, we're saying $300. What if your PG&E or your utilities went up to $400? That's $1,600. And your yard was $160. You follow me? Everything changes. Your pool service was $125, and also will change everything. Now your realtor fees, say you negotiated to 5% instead of 5.5%. Okay, it's gonna, in this case, with everything else remaining, constant, now your profit is 36%. At 10%, you cannot afford to sell this property for $350, which means that you cannot afford to buy this property for $225. Regardless of what happens, everything else is kind of noise. So all of these things kind of play a role. So I hope, and I said as this disclaimer, everything is based on 4-month holding costs. Okay, so let's go back to the top. So you were able to buy this property for $175,000. And it's basically 50 cents, it's 50% on the AR, after repair value. Wow, that's pretty cool, right? So look how the numbers look. Your profit, if you bought it for 50 cents on the dollar and you fixed it up, your profit on this deal will be almost $90,000, 25% profit, and you got your fix-up cost at 14%. It's not a bad deal. Just as a general rule, your closing costs, I said, will range anywhere from 9 to 11. Your carrying costs would be, in this case, they're very low, but don't expect them to be low, because what happens if you were to have your property, oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention, your lender interest. Now is factored, if you notice the formula here, in this calculation, the interest is paid at escrow. Some lenders want to pay the monthly, they want to pay the interest portion on a monthly basis. Some like to wait till the end. You have to know exactly from day one what that's going to look like, because it's going to affect your cash flow. But what if instead of 4 months, you were holding the property now for you're holding the property for 8 months. Your interest alone, it's $8,400. You see how that makes a difference? So it's very important that you understand how all of this works. So I hope that was helpful. There will be a link at the bottom of the description of this video where you can actually, I'll be happy to give you this spreadsheet, and I'm glad, I hope it was helpful to you. And thank you so much for watching this video.
Do you still need funding for your next real estate deal? If so, I can totally help you. Either drop me a note in the comment section, or you can shoot me an email. My email address will be in the description of this video. Also, if you want to join a community of like-minded successful entrepreneurs just like you, then join our Facebook group. The link is below. I share tactics, tips, and strategies on how my clients are growing their businesses to 7 figures and beyond.